There was a small episode about what I think Air Marshal Bharti was asked, that Kirana Hills episode. I think I'll clarify this. At occasions, he's been asked whether Kirana Hills were hit or not. That's where their nuclear facilities are there. And with Bharti had rightly clarified that we did not target Kirana Hills. I can maybe given kind of an explanation. Before those strikes, we had sent in a lot of loitering munitions at Sargodha. And Kirana Hills is about 10 kilometers north of Sargodha. So the loitering ammunition is looking for radars which are in around Sargodha. And it's got a lifetime, means time. It will loiter for about 2 hours, and once it doesn't find a target, then it comes down and hits somewhere. It must have come and hit, one of those hills. So that could be one of the reasons as to what people asked. Yes, because the Pakistani media also showed some kind of images in which there was smoke coming out from Kirana Hills, and they were asking. The next is a new normal. You heard about this new normal, which the Prime Minister has said that, there'll be talks and terror will not go together, blood and water will not flow together, will not tolerate cross-border terrorism, and will make no distinction between perpetrators and their handlers, and then will not be blackmailed or by nuclear blackmail. So these are the new normals. But what is a new normal? I think it's a new rule to prevent from a crisis to emerge, and if it still emerges, then how to better handle it. So after, say, COVID-19, the new norm was work from home, which is caught on with people and still continues with it. So after demonetization, the new norm was use of digital currencies. That became a new normal, how you actually work. So Operation Sindoor onwards, we'll have this preparation 24/7. That I think is important. We should have an ISR capability which is much deeper than what it exists today. We should have a capability for real-time intelligence analysis, and we should be able to strike anywhere where we want. So these are the kind of capabilities what we should have. Some of the lessons we've learned out of this conflict, but sometimes I feel it's far more important to understand what lessons the adversary had learned. And to those lessons, how is he trying to, whatever shortcomings he's noticed, what is he doing about it? I think that is more important than the lessons what we have learned. I'll now talk about the possible lessons which Pakistan would have learned and what it has done. First is, I think there was a lack of integration between the three services. Second is lack of coordination between conventional and his nuclear forces, and a singular command authority over conventional and nuclear missiles, both. So all this is kind of remedied. He's created an Army Rocket Force, which is separate from the National Strategic Command. So he separated out his conventional and nuclear forces. He's created this port of CDF. He's created a joint defense headquarters, and this chairman, Joint Chief of Staff Committee, which was earlier held, that post has been abolished. So that thing was non-functional because although he was chairman, Joint Chief of Staff, but all three services were acting independently. So now what they have done is they made a CDF, put all the three services under him, and also put the nuclear forces under him. So for a better kind of coordination, they did it by the 27th Amendment in November 25, 6 months after this operation. And now they have provided a force to this particular amendment, which they have done a force of law by passing the Defense Forces Act 2026 on 20th of August, this month itself. Second thing, so these are the drawbacks which Pakistan has noticed, and this is how he has tried to rectify it. The implications of this. Obviously, the first implication of this is good and bad. So the space for conventional operations increases further because he separated out his nuclear and conventional forces. So hence there is more space for conventional. Then it makes his long-range artillery, long-range rockets and missiles more usable. And hence that would be a new threat or a new challenge in next kind of a conflict for us. So this is what we should be aware of. The next thing which Pakistan has always been seeking security in pacts and alliances. And right after this particular conflict, he was trying to secure security, national security, by some more accords and alliances. First, he tried this SMDA, Strategic Mutual Defense Agreement, with Saudi Arabia on 17th of September 2025. And now, of course, is this Mecca Accord, which they declared on 7th of August, in which the only statement which they said that is for mutual deterrence, for strengthening deterrence, and attack on any one country would be considered as an attack on either of the. So I think that has got major security implications for India. Unless the pact says that it is not against India, we must assume that it is against India. And we should, the warfare, I said, is changing. So this pact may not allow joint application of force to land, which we conventionally think. A new kind of front, because geographically they are separated. But warfare today is not happening only on land. So it's a maritime, airspace, cyber, space, electromagnetic spectrum. They still can be joined. So there's a new kind of a threat, and we'll have to, factor this in our future strategies. Then, of course, Pakistan lacked sovereign ISR capabilities. His satellites were just about 2. So if you've seen in the last, after Operation Sindoor, he's made a concerted effort. He's launched 4 more satellites in 2025 and 26. If you see 6 more satellites, that's a huge capability jump which they have created. So he supplemented this with the number of HAPS program and number of hail and mail UAVs. And of course, he's looking at selective acquisition. His defense budgets are far less than us. He can spend less money. So he's selectively creating capabilities in, say, electronic warfare, counter US system, such kind of selective capability building he's doing. So we'll have to take all this thing into account for next round whenever it comes up. For us, I think we'll have to reassess our procurement priorities. That is one. Reassess our war fighting strategies. Create new capabilities. Should be able to create new capabilities, create a new kind of a deterrence, non-nuclear strategic deterrence, which could be based on very frontier technologies, based on space, cyber, quantum, artificial intelligence. And of course, we should look at strategic realignments, keep our channels of communication open with all our friendly nations. So I'll end over here and maybe try and answer your doubts or questions on this particular operation or if its aftermath. Thank you.